Sometimes the most powerful way to win an argument isn't to answer the question at all, but to completely reframe it. We're going to unpack a single, absolutely brilliant exchange from history that is a total masterclass in this exact strategy.
All right, so picture this. Ali ibn Abi Talib, a major figure in Islamic history, is in a conversation with a Jewish man. And while this guy isn't just asking a friendly question, this is a sharp, loaded accusation. It's designed to hit right at the foundation of Ali's entire community.
I mean, just think about the weight of a question like that for a second. It's not just a question, it's an accusation of failure, maybe even hypocrisy. He's basically saying, your prophet's followers couldn't even keep it together for one generation. It's a huge challenge.
Seriously, what would you do? Put yourself in his shoes. If you get defensive, you sound weak. If you ignore it, it kind of looks like you're admitting he's right. The pressure is really on to come up with something smart, something powerful. And this is where the whole thing just takes a fascinating turn. Ali doesn't make excuses. He doesn't try to justify anything. Nope. He does something nobody would expect. He pivots.
And boom, there it is, a counter question. He reaches right into the questioner's own sacred history, the story of Moses and the Israelites crossing the Red Sea, and just holds it up like a mirror. Wow, that one sentence completely flips the entire conversation on its head. Okay, let's pause. What in the world just happened? To really get the genius behind this comeback, we've got to break down the analogy he just created, right there on the spot. So let's look at this side by side. The accusation against the Muslims was about fighting amongst themselves. You could call that a human failing, a political problem, but Ali's response, he brings up the Israelites asking for an idol. That's a whole different level. That's a direct theological crisis, a rejection of their core belief. But the real knockout punch is the timing. 15 years versus a moment so immediate, so shocking, that their feet had not yet dried. So you see, this wasn't just some clever comeback. It was a seriously sophisticated strategy. He immediately shifts the focus away from being on the defensive. He uses the questioner's own history as a mirror, forcing him to look at himself. And then he draws this incredible contrast between a human failing, conflict, and a fundamental theological one, all while hammering home that huge difference in timing. Now, this exchange is way more than just a cool historical story. It actually shows us something really profound about the power of perspective in any kind of debate or discussion. We can actually put a name to this technique. It's called an argument by analogy. And the idea is you're not just trying to prove a point. You're recontextualizing the entire debate by finding a similar situation in the other person's own backyard. It makes both people look at the issue through a totally new lens. And that's really the ultimate goal here. Ali is basically saying, look, if you're going to judge my community for its very human struggles, then you have to apply that exact same standard to everyone, including your own history. He wasn't just trying to win a point. He was trying to change the rules of the game itself.
So, what's the big takeaway for us? Well, first, sometimes reframing a hostile question is way more effective than just answering it. Second, understanding the other person's perspective, their history, their values, is an incredibly powerful tool. And finally, this is a great reminder that our shared stories don't always have to be weapons. They can actually be a bridge to understanding.
And all of this leaves us with one last kind of provocative thought. We're always told, answer the question directly. Don't evade. But this whole story suggests that maybe there are times when shifting the frame of reference, when changing the subject in the most intelligent way possible, isn't an evasion at all. In fact, it might just be the most powerful answer you can give.